Hey crafty friends, thanks so much for joining me today. So in today's tutorial, I have a fun card that we're making. It's so simple and you can step it up or you can make it simple, right? So I'm going to step it up a little bit, and by doing that, I'm actually using Charming Day stamp set. I'm not going to be using the dies, although we could, but we're not going to. And for the textured notes, I'm using the die set. That's why I've got a few dies already pulled out. But these are both really great sets. If you purchase them as a bundle, you can get 10% off. So it's a great deal. So today I am using, let me show you the DSP, which I think I've shown this to you before. It's called Floral Charm. And I really like it. It's really pretty. I like the kind of watercolory images of the floral images. And these colors are just really very vibrant to me, right? So we've got this piece is the one that I'll be using, so I've already cut most of it up. And then it's got the B side. We have some Blackberry Bliss, Berry Burst, and then this one's got some Timid Tiger, and a little more Timid Tiger with some Berry Burst, and Mossy Meadow. And then we have this beautiful piece. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Berry Burst, and let's look at the back of this. This is always a great guide. So we have Berry Burst, Blackberry Bliss, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Pretty Peacock, and Timid Tiger. So that one, and then this is the last piece here. So aren't they gorgeous? I think they're just so pretty, so vibrant, so colorful, so vivid. That's called Floral Charm. We're gonna need this. All right, so here is the card that we're making today. As I mentioned, it is super simple. I did step it up a bit and I used the textured note dies, but you don't have to, but I do have a trick to show you. So let's get started. Let's get all the die cutting out of the way. So I have these 3 dies here. The first one, I'm actually going to die cut from this piece here, and I'm going to die cut it in the center. Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter where I put it, but I like to kind of save as much as I can. Then I'm going to angle it a bit though. The reason I angle it is so it doesn't go, if you put the flat edges of the dies on these straight dies, makes this, it goes through a little bit harder. So by doing this on an angle, it makes it a little bit easier. Then this is the paper saving hack that I got for you. So we're going to put that in the center, because that one's going to die cut this piece here that we're going to put our sentiment on. All right, so make sure I got that straight. And okay, and we'll put this over it. I'm going to run it through. See, it goes much smoother when you put it on an angle. Now, if I had gone straight through with it, I'm just going to go one more time through. I'm going to back it up. If I had gone with it straight, it would have made this real loud bumpy sound. So that's why we do that. All right, so we have both our pieces cut out. I'll put that aside for a little scrap. I can still use this piece here for a sentiment in the future. So we're just going to toss that, but save this. Put that aside. All right, let's see. So I've got this piece cut out. Now that's going to go, you won't see that because the DSP will be layered on top of that. So, and this is for our sentiment. So let me put this aside. The next, this piece I want to also cut. Is it this one? I think it's this piece here. So, but I want to do it on this side so I get the pretty flowers. So I'm going to position it probably right around there because I like that flower right there in the center. So I'm going to put this through straight just to show you what I was talking about. How it goes through a little bit harder than if you put it on an angle. So there, nice and straight. Let's put on our top plate, number 3, and we'll run it through. Now watch what happens. See, it's a little bit harder to push it through. So now I'm going to go backwards. That wasn't too bad actually. So I think because my plate's a little warped, so maybe that's why. Anyway, all right, so we can save this for another card. Actually, no, I need that piece. We need this piece because we need this side of that piece. And then let's just get my take your pick tool. It's kind of stuck on here. There we go. Okay. And are we done with the die cutting? So I have this piece here, that, and that. I think we are done. Now for my sample, I did also use the largest die for the inside. But I didn't care for that because I didn't like the way it's, I don't know. I didn't like the sizing. So anyway, we're not going to do that. We're going to just straight cut it, which I've already done. So let me put these aside since we're done with those. And we can start putting this card together. So I'm going to layer my first piece right over that. And don't worry, we're going to cover that up. So I hope everybody's been having a beautiful summer so far. I've been enjoying mine. As you know, I went to Las Vegas back in June. My husband went back again in July to play in the World Series of Poker main event. Too bad he didn't cash though. He made it only through day 1, so not good. But he was happy. It was his first time going out for the main event. He's been at the seniors event several times. Actually, when we went in June, that's what he went there for in June, but he also asked me to go, which, you know, I love to travel, so that was a no-brainer for me. And it was fun. Hot, but I had a nice side adventure, as you know. I went to Monument Valley and I visited the Stampin' Up facility, which was really cool. I learned how they make the mostly the photopolymer stamps, because the red rubber stamps, they had already done production for those on Monday and Tuesday, so I didn't get to see that. But maybe next time that I go on another tour, I will see that. Okay, so we got that layer down. See how that covered that up? And then we're going to cover this one up with this piece. So this is going together very quickly, as you can see. Lots of layers, but it just, I don't know, the layers just really add to it. And if you want, you can use dimensionals on this. I've chosen not to because there are quite a few layers, but I will be using dimensionals on my sentiment layer. So that right down in the center, like so, and that is good. All right, let's set that aside. Close up the glue. And let's do some stamping. So for my stamping, I am actually going to use, let me get this all out here. Let's go this way. Come on. It's stuck on something. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to use my heat tool. So I want to have everything ready. And I want to open this, because instead of using Versamark, I'm going to use Pretty Peacock to do my inking. So this way I will have my, I can put clear embossing powder over it, but it will match up with my card because it'll be kind of like Pretty Peacock. What the heck this piece is here? Okay. Let me just cut that off. Okay. All right, so we're going to stamp happy birthday. I want, like I said, I want to have everything open and ready to go because you kind of have to work quick when you're using ink rather than the Versamark, because Versamark is like a sticky ink, whereas this is just regular water-based. So we're just going to stamp that right there. And like I said, I need to work quick. So we're going to put that aside, and I'm going to sprinkle the embossing powder right over that. Shake some off. Okay, and that's fine. Now we could wait a little bit to heat emboss it, but I did want to get the embossing powder on there, so at least it's stuck on there. Now we can close this up so that it doesn't go flying. We'll close up the ink so fingers don't get stuck in there. All right, I'm going to turn my heat gun on and let that heat up a bit. Pick this up with my tweezers, and then we're going to start heating it up. And you can see and then just hit it on the back a little, and it should be good to go. All right, I'll let that cool for a second. I'm done with the heat tool. That there. Let's just let that cool off for a bit, okay? And while I'm doing that, I'm going to where is it? Oh, it's right here in front of me. Okay, so I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper here. I'm going to open up my memento, move this stuff out of the way. Okay, I'll ink that up. I'll just put that right here on the corner. Okay. Then I'm going to take my mini blending brushes. So I need this piece. And I've got Timid Tiger for my ink and Lost Lagoon. So we're just going to open those up. So I'll put that there. Okay, so I'm going to take up some ink. This seems like it's very juicy. Oh my goodness. Could be because it's humid. Okay, I think that's good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of color. I'm going to go lightly at first. And I really don't want that much color. This is going on the inside of my card base, but I do want to do a little bit darker in the center, right about there. Of course, it's not getting the center like I want it. Okay, so there you go. Spread that out a bit. Okay, let's close this one up. And then we'll do Lost Lagoon for the leaves. Just turn this around a bit. And it's okay if you go out of the lines, just adds to it. Kind of looks like the paper because it's not, you know, it's like a watercolor effect, kind of. a little bit more. So then we can add this piece to the inside of the card. I'll get my liquid glue. I don't need that piece anymore. Oops, there's a glob on there. Take that off. Okay. Just put a little bit on the sides, on the outer edges here. Don't want to get any in the center because then it creates those bumps when you're writing. Okay. And we're going to center that right about there. Like so, okay. And I am done with the glue. I just need some dimensionals, which I have right here. This should be nice and dry. It is. So doesn't that look pretty? So just with clear embossing powder and your colored ink, now you have heat embossing in all the colors. How cool is that? So I'm going to go a little heavy on the well, maybe not. I'm just going to put some on the corners here so it's not too saggy. Now I could also add some sort of leaf image here, but you know what? I want the DSP to be showcased because it's so pretty and I don't want to hide it with too many things on it. So we're going to keep it very simple. I will add some pretty gems. Okay, so we're going to put this right about here, and I'm lining it up on the edge of the DSP, like so. Okay, and then we're going to use our Charming Shimmer Faceted Gems. Take your pick tool. I think I'm going to use these colors here. Just kind of like looks like petal pink to me. So let's see, we'll put one here. I think I'm going to add a little one down here maybe. And then, I guess that's the same size. We'll add, if I can grab it, another large one. How about over here? Kind of gets lost over there, right? I'll just put it over here. Such decisions, right? Okay, so there you go. Quick and easy, but so pretty. And like on this one, I wanted to show that big flower down here. So that's why I moved that up. But there you go. Gorgeous, isn't it? And don't you just love how that embossing makes it look just so pretty? Friends, thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up. It really helps my channel to grow, and it helps other people find my channel that may not know about it yet. So, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think of my cards. And like I said, I hope you're enjoying your summer and continuing to enjoy it. This was a quick and easy project, so it can get you right out there and doing your summery things. All right, friends, till next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.